Postseason, and as we know, Jeff Francoeur, there's nothing like the postseason.
And the fact that there's fans back in the stands, something we missed last year. I mean, this place is rocking. We got two great ball games or two great ball teams, and it's going to be a fun series.
Let's check out the Atlanta Braves starting nine. Today's batting order is brought to you by Hankook Tire. And at the top of that order is Jorge Soler, one of the newcomers. He's in right field with Freddie Freeman at first base. Ozzie Albies at second base with Austin Riley at third. Adam Duvall, another great pickup. He's at center field, his second stint with the Braves. Eddie Rosario is in left with Travis d'Arnaud, the veteran catcher, batting seventh. Dansby Swanson, a kind of a tough ending to his regular season. The shortstop bats out of the 8th spot, and it is the pitcher, Morton, who will bat out of the 9th spot. As you mentioned, we could be looking at the National League Cy Young Award winner in Corbin Burnes.
He's a National League ERA leader, first in the history of Milwaukee. 34 walks for him this year, as you see, which is unbelievable. He's got the best cutter in baseball. He keeps it low. This Braves team, you've got to find a way to elevate that pitch. Right here, cutter, just over 52% of the time. But that's the thing, his changeup might end up being his best pitch, and he doesn't even throw it often. So a Braves offense, you're seeing a guy that can come at you and get you out in so many different ways. So, and it's a good defense behind him too. And he's got first-year all-star catcher Omar Narvaez, who's behind the plate for him today. He's had a great first half, made the all-star team. And then, of course, a good infield in Escobar, Adames, Colt Wong, the last 2 Gold Gloves. Tellez at first base, and then you go around the outfield. And, of course, Christian Yelich with the Gold Glove, Lorenzo Cain in center field, and Avisar Garcia in right, who defensively plays deep, but he's got a big arm.
Now Burnes getting ready, as he was 11-5 during the regular season, a 2.43 ERA. Their big three, all ERAs under 3, which is impressive, and that's really why they're here.
And it's a different type team. We've always seen this Brewers team use openers, get to the bullpen in the 3rd, 4th inning. Well, Craig Counsell told us today, actually the first 4 or 5 innings are pretty easy for me. I get to sit back, I got Burnes, Woodruff, Peralta, and let them go.
Not a lot of decisions to be made. I got a question for you as we get this thing started. Soler will be leading it off for Atlanta. There are a great many shadows here created by the window panes in this late afternoon start in Milwaukee. How tricky is that going to be?
It's not easy. I mean, this is one of the tougher places. Any player that's played here will tell you, with all the window seals in the outfield, that it can come through, but at the same time should be out of here pretty quick, hopefully, for these hitters.
So the mound in the sunshine, so is second baser with the plate and the backdrop in the darkness. As here is Jorge Soler, one of the additions to the Atlanta Braves. Getting the start at right field. He's been leading it off. Burnes is ready, and we're ready for the first pitch of the NLDS from Milwaukee. And it's strike one. And it's strike one. Burnes with a 2.43 minuscule ERA. '29 starts during the regular season. All we've heard about Soler over the years is that he's all bat. Not much defensively, and you wouldn't lead him off. Well, Brian Snitker disagrees with all of that.
Yeah. Well, he came over from Kansas City, didn't have a great year there, and has supplied a lot of power, which the Braves thought they'd get. Well, he's been one of the best disciplined hitters on this team, and so 2 weeks ago, they kind of switched it up and moved him to leadoff.
It's not your typical leadoff guy. He's got a lot of pop, 27 home runs between Kansas City and Atlanta. And a swing and a miss at 95 puts him down 1-2.
Well, I was talking to Braves hitting coach Kevin Seitzer earlier today, and he was talking how Burnes is one of the best they've seen at throwing that cutter down and away, but he'll also throw that sinker in. And he was saying, look, we have to find a way to get the ball up. If we don't, it could be a long afternoon for our hitters.
Taps it foul over by the Braves side of things, third base way. Well, you look at the two teams, and offensively, certainly the Braves have the lead in that category, much more offensive minded than the Milwaukee Brewers. Look at the roof closed and the shadows that are being created right now. Bright sunshine cast over the mound. 2-2.
Yeah, well, it's a nice day outside, but Brewers, they want that noise, crowd noise in here. Roof closed, make it tough on opposing hitters.
That was going to be my next question. Why is the roof closed?
Oh, darn right. That's exactly why. They know what they're doing.
Full count as he misses with the gas down and away. Soler back in 2019, leading the American League in home runs and in strikeouts. Played every game for the Kansas City Royals. And a payoff pitch from Burns. It's ball 4 and a leadoff walk for Soler. And there you go. Seeing the patience of Soler and getting on base here.
Well, he's been with the Atlanta Braves now for 2 months, and he's got the lowest percentage of chase rate, which is kind of crazy when you think about the guy coming up in Freddie Freeman, last year's MVP. But Brian Snitker said he's done a phenomenal job for me here.
He has been everything the Braves expected in his 8-year deal, which comes to an end this year. A lot of people wondering whether the former NL MVP will be back in Atlanta next year. It seems he will be, with both sides kind of wanting the same thing, it appears. Takes it the other way down the left field line. Yelich on the move, but he's not going to get there. Going to land foul.
Well, I think anytime you have iconic players, you think of the one, Derek Jeters and guys that spent their whole career with one team. And look, I think Freddie Freeman feels the same way about the Braves, but look, I think this isn't the time to kind of figure that stuff. Usually works itself out. I know for Freddie, I'm sure a World Series is on his mind.
Shift on the right side, keep it tight to the infield, the double play scenario in order. As Freeman will take it down low. The count evens at 1-1. 31 home runs during the regular season for Freeman. And got that 300 average. He was teetering right up to the last day of the season, but he gets it. Big difference between 299 and 300. Burns falling behind again. 2-1.
Well, and you always wonder, a guy like Corbin Burns, how much rest do you need compared to, do you want to keep pitching? Craig Counsell and the staff here did a great job this year of kind of limiting these guys' innings. But with that being said, he only threw, 3 innings, I think, in LA last weekend. So you wonder sometimes if it takes him a minute to really kind of settle in.
This pitch Saturday, just 2 innings, and there's a strike. Freeman didn't think it was, and I'm not sure it was. Mike Estabrook has the balls and strikes for the umpires. Appear to be away.
Yeah, right on the corner.
Small lead at first for Soler. Full count, and it's the second straight hitter. Burns has gone full too. Tied the major league record for consecutive strikeouts in a game. August the 11th against the Cubs with 10. Of course, started the combined no-hitter September 11th with Hader. Struck out 14 in that one.
And 8 innings against Cleveland Indians.
Soler goes. Freeman swings and carves it foul. It started Jorge Soler at first base.
Well, Freddie Freeman's one guy in the Atlanta Braves lineup that if you talk to a lot of the players, they trust to put the ball in play.
Make contact.
Yeah, absolutely. So Ron Washington, the third base coach for the Braves, Eric Young, first base, they're aggressive type guys.
Talk about the 8-year deal for Freeman, and the Braves got everything and then some. Three-two again. Soler is off again, and Freeman carves it foul off to the left out of play.
One thing the Atlanta Braves get from Freddie Freeman is since 2018 he's played the second most games in baseball behind Whit Merrifield with Kansas City. So he's a guy that wants to play every day, wants to be in that lineup.
And since 2018, only Whit Merrifield at 542 games has played more games than Freddie Freeman.
Yeah.
Over the last 3 years has only missed 3 games. Shadow situation now starting to cover the mound.
And made him work. 8th pitch for Corbin Burns, SAB.
Soler goes, and a ground ball to first base is a foul ball. And Soler back again. He is getting a workout at first base. Nothing else. The first 2 hitters have really battled here against Corbin Burns, making him throw a bunch of pitches.
Which, as an offensive guy, Burns is, to me, not the type of guy that you're really going to say, hey, let's work his pitch count, because he's a strike thrower. He's coming at you, and the last thing you want to do is get to 2 strikes against him with the opportunity of, so many strikeout pitches he has.
For whatever reason, his first inning has been the only problem he really has had. 11 earned runs in the first inning, tied for most in any inning for him. Trying to settle into this game 1 of the NLDS. Soler goes. That's ball 4. And it gets away, so Soler will keep on going. He's headed for third, and he'll get there with a slide. So not only the walk, but it gets away to the backstop, and it's first and third with nobody out for the Braves here in the first inning.
That was a pitch up. It just tipped right off his glove.
Pass ball. Charge to Narvaez.
That's a ball he'll tell you he's got to have. And Soler, with him going on the pitch, was able to get all the way over to third.
At the corners, nobody out in this Braves first inning. And here's Ozzie Albies. What a great year he put together. 30 homers, over 100 RBIs at 106. About straight up in the infield with the center fielder Kane over towards left center. Gap in right center for Albies. That's ball 1. Burns falling behind again.
Yeah, it just seems a little out of rhythm right now. Not able to kind of hit his spots like we're used to seeing. Talked about the 11 runs for Burns. The Atlanta Braves back at the end of July put 4 runs on Corbin Burns in the first inning, but then he settled down and eventually threw well, and the Brewers won the game.
This hook is pitching coach looking on from the Brewers dugout with runners at the corners, nobody out here in the Braves first inning. And Albies ahead 1-0. On the ground down the first baseline. It's fair ball out there. Throw to the plate. Soler is out there. Double play. That was huge. Soler tries to get in the back door from third as Albies grounds out. It turns into 2.
Wow. Talk about a change in momentum. Great play, great throw home, and Narvaez, talk about a great scoop right here. That's not easy. Rowdy gets rid of it quick. Now gets down and applies the tag. You talk about a momentum thing, and really probably something Corbin Burns needed to calm him down a little bit.
Rowdy Tellez bringing it plateward, and they gun down Soler. 2 down. Freeman at second base, and here's Austin Riley. Tried to hold up, could not, and he's down 0-1. As good a second half as anybody had in Major League Baseball for Austin Riley, who kind of changed his mind in the middle of that swing.
They did. Runners in scoring position, 3-13 for Austin Riley.
Gets away and heading for third base is Freeman. The throw there will be late. Took off right away on a ball in the dirt, and Freeman takes third.
Now, aggressive move by Freddie. But now with him at third, you force Burns to really not be able to maybe spike one, throw one of those.
So a wild pitch for Burns has Freeman at third base. 2 down here in the first inning. Ball and a strike to Austin Riley. Tardy on the 97. To their feet in Milwaukee.
Not the crispest that I'm sure Craig Counsell and Corbin Burns were hoping for, but one pitch away from getting out of this inning without any damage.
Did he go? Yes, he did. They ring him up. Riley strikes out, and Burns does indeed get out of this first unscathed. The strikeout, his first, ends the inning. Braves don't score. Brewers are coming up. Top of the first inning, the Brewers are coming up in the bottom of the first inning. And today's batting order is brought to you by Hankook Tire. Craig Counsell, longest tenured National League manager, has Cole Wong at second base, leading it off with Willie Adames, the difference maker at short. Yelich in left, Garcia in right, Tellez at first, Escobar is at third base. Narvaez does the catching with Kane in center field. And Burns, the pitcher, bats out of the 9 spot with Charlie Morton on the mound.
Yeah, well, the Braves brought Charlie Morton in this offseason on a 1-year deal, and for this reason, he's a postseason animal. One of the best. Morton.
Really become a workhorse 3 consecutive years, minus the short season last year that he's had 30 or more starts in a year. Very reliable and seems to be getting better the older he gets. And Brian Snitker going with his experience here in game one.
Yeah, it reminds you a little bit of Adam Wainwright. Adam Wainwright, 40 years old now, and just continues to pitch well. And Charlie, same thing every year, tends to get better and continues to stay healthy.
Age 37, most starts on the staff with 33.
And this is what it's like facing Charlie Morton. Really 2 pitches, and you see almost about halfway through the zone, it's at the same spot. Well, his fastball continues to rise up a little bit, and that curveball just drops straight down. And talking to Christian Yelich today before the game, he said a major thing for them today against Morton is you've got to be able to lay off some of those curveballs. You're going to swing and miss at some, but it's being able to try to drive that pitch count up for Charlie Morton.
Where it's coming from the same spot, how hard does that make it, as you just showed?
Tough. I mean, it's 50-50 what you're getting.
It's outside of first, and we'll do it again, 2-2.
You know, earlier in the year, Charlie Morton was struggling, you know, getting deep into games, and all of a sudden he kind of simplified. He talked about, I went back to that fastball curveball combo and kind of let it work. And for him, the last 2 months, he's done outstanding.
Swing and a miss, and striking out is Colton Wong, the former St. Louis Cardinal, down by way of the K.
Well, so what you see, Don, 2 curveballs in a row, then what? 97 tailing away from you. It's tough to hit that, tough to foul it off.
Wong couldn't. He's out number 1, and it brings up Willy Adames. You ask any member of the Milwaukee Brewers, and that includes their manager, Craig Counsell, what changed with this team and what started what was a terrific end of the year. Willy Adames just joining this team on May the 21st, and from then on, the Brewers were a different ball club.
To me, probably the biggest trade of the year. If you look at all the trades that happened, for them, they were 2 games under 500. They get Willy Adames 30 games over 500 cents.
You ask them what happened, they say, well, Willy Adames happened. That's what happened.
It's exactly right.
Comes over from the Tampa Bay Rays. Just gets his team fired up and gets his teammates around him fired up.
And we just showed one of the most underrated managers in all of baseball, Craig Counsell. Every year gets this Milwaukee Brewers team, whether it's the wild card game, winning the division this year, into this situation. And this isn't a team with a $200 million payroll.
Longest tenured National League manager. It's gone by pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Certainly has the respect of his club in its entirety. His playing career speaks for itself. That is strike 3, and it's back-to-back strikeouts for Charlie Morton to start this ball game.
And you might ask yourself right there, man, that's 97 right down the middle. When you have the type curveball he does, you sometimes tend to get looking for that, and Charlie just sneaks it right by him.
2 down on back-to-back strikeouts, and it brings up Christian Yelich.
Behind the plate, Travis d'Arnaud for the Atlanta Braves, and going around, Austin Riley, Dansby Swanson, Albies, Freddie Freeman with the Gold Glove in the outfield, Rosario Duvall in center field, someone that, you know, Brian Snitker talks about. Yeah, it's not, might be a little bit unusual, but hey, we've seen Aaron Judge, we've seen other guys do it, and for this Braves team, they need the offense. And then, of course, Soler over in right field.
I asked him about that defense, and he said it's been fine. You know, I mean, you look at it, and we talked about Soler earlier, you know, not being known for his defensive prowess out there, but he's been just fine as well.
Yeah, Eric Young said we've just kind of played him deep and let the ball drop in front of him if it has to.
Christian Yelich has really been a surprise the last 2 years. The short season for many superstars in baseball didn't go well for a lot of guys that are perennial MVP types, and it was a bad year last year. Unfortunately for Yelich, this year has not been much better in the full season. He hit only a .248 during the regular season, 9 homers, and just not the same guy. You got to wonder about the health.
Well, and I think that's anytime you're back, and I know he's tough. He's not going to make excuses, Christian, but that back, when it starts to go, sometimes it can bother you. But that being said, talking to him, he knows if I have a great October, I can they'll forget everything that happened the first 6 months.
Full count, a little stroll off the backside. Morton in the midst of a meeting with himself. Back up on top again. 3-2 to Yelich, 2 out in the first inning. Got him. Strikes out the side. Wong, Adames, and Yelich all down by way of the K of the inning as Morton strikes out the side in order. Scoreless after 1 in game 1. Let's take a look at today's game odds powered by DraftKings Sportsbook. Earlier today, our friends at DraftKings Sportsbook worked with the Bleacher Report. First inning.
Yeah, if you bet yes, you had to feel good when it was first and third and no outs, but a great play by that man right there. And Corbin Burns now able to settle in a little bit after that first inning.
Did have to throw 22 first inning pitches. Adam Duvall leading it off here for the Braves. His second stint as a Brave and thrilled about it to be in the postseason, coming back to the Braves from Miami.
I wanted to be with the Atlanta Braves. No DH. They decided to go a different way, and he ends up right back in Atlanta.
Career high in home runs, a combined 38 home runs between the Marlins and the Braves. It's the third time in his career he surpassed 30 home runs in a season.
Well, he's a reverse type split guy. He's batting 178 with 6 home runs against lefties this year. It ticks up to 245 and 32 long balls against righties.
He's a National League leader in RBIs with 113 during the regular season. More protection for him in this lineup than there was in Miami. He waves at that and strikes out. Burns struck out Riley to end the first. He opens the second by getting Duvall on the curveball.
We saw Morton strike out 3 in the first inning. Burns got Riley. Now he got Duvall. We figured first 4 or 5 innings, with the way these two guys have been throwing the balls, we might see some strikeouts pile up quick.
Here is Eddie Rosario, the guy joining the club, the big additions coming over from the Cleveland Indians. 14 homers, 62 runs batted in for Rosario. They're in the shift. Escobar, the third baseman, moves to the right side of the infield. They stack it up.
You know, when Eddie Rosario came over to the Atlanta Braves, Don, he'd been on the IL. A lot of guys didn't know about him. 2 years ago, 32 home runs and 109 RBIs. So he's only 2 years removed from an unbelievable year.
When he came over, he was injured initially, abdomen strain. He played from July 5th through August 28th. His numbers since his return in 33 games, 7 homers, 16 RBIs. And he has become the everyday left fielder for the Braves against lefties and righties. You look at the groups of outfielders that the Braves went through. Essentially, Brian Snitker told us 3 different crews of outfielders to get to the postseason.
Yeah, it's just their third line. Like in hockey,
yeah.
You're bringing out the third line, and this has by far been the most productive. You know, you can't replace a guy like Ronald Acuna. They've got more weapons now.
To right field, and Garcia comes in on the sinking liner to make the catch for out number 2. Well, the new outfield, the third line, if you will.
Yeah, and they've done great since they've been over here with Atlanta. You see the OPSs, Rosario over 900. Soler, we talked about the great work, and then of course Duvall. Duvall's one of the true kind of right-handed power hitter type guys. Not a high on base, but when he hits it, it goes a long way. And I thought this was going to be an interesting matchup with Corbin Burns. Corbin Burns, as I said, only allowed 7 long balls all year. And this Braves offense kind of relies on the long ball. Second in the NL in home runs.
Here's Travis d'Arnaud. Backstop for the Braves. Pops it up foul ground. Tellez headed over. So is Burns, and Tellez will not have a play. Off the screen and then the roof of the Brewers dugout. Routed Tellez getting over there and went as far as he could.
And just ran out of room. Travis d'Arnaud with a huge year for the Atlanta Braves last year. Kind of got off to a little bit of a slower start and then ended up missing 3 months with torn ligaments in his left thumb. So he's been back now for about 2 months.
Brings a wealth of postseason experience to a young staff. 32 career games in the postseason, including the World Series run with the Mets in 2015.
And not a great average in those postseason games, but done some damage. 5 home runs and 19 RBIs in those 32 games.
Just 86 games with the torn ligaments you were talking about in his left thumb. Didn't return until August the 11th. It's cutter and it's away.
And this is where he gets you sometimes. You see that cutter, he starts working it away, and guys will tend to start diving. He's not afraid to throw that sinker in on you too, and that's what kind of keeps hitters from diving.
Walk 2 in the first inning. In fact, walked the first 2 Atlanta Braves he faced in this game in Soler and Freeman, but worked his way around it and out of that first inning unscathed.
That's the pitch he hasn't got down yet, hasn't found the comfort for, is that cutter low and away to righties, something that he usually is so good at.
It's by d'Arnaud at 96, and the count is full.
Yeah, that's when he's at his best. 96 cutting on the corner of the plate, and as a hitter, so tough to do anything with that pitch.
It's claws up in Milwaukee. That is ball 4. Burns was headed to the dugout, but another walk, the third allowed by Burns in his outing.
Yeah, take a look. I know the crowd wants this pitch, but good call. Ball's a little bit off the plate. If anything, Burns was probably wondering how d'Arnaud laid off it.
So after getting the first 2 outs in Duvall and Rosario, he walks d'Arnaud and now deals with the 8-hitter. And Dansby Swanson, who had a terrific year until the calendar turned to September, and then it really got tough at the plate for Swanson. He really struggled and may have just kind of petered out during the course of the year, got tired.
Dansby Swanson prides himself, plays great shortstop, only 10 errors this year at short, but the last month of the season hit 176. And you wonder, a long season after only playing 60 games last year, seeing if those 4 or 5 days off might have done him some good.
Career year, though, the whole body of work, highs in virtually every offensive category. Runs, RBIs.
I don't know many 8-hole hitters with 27 home runs.
No. Gives you the idea of the length of this Braves order. That's with 2 down and d'Arnaud at first, held on by Tellez. Up to 40 pitches now in an inning and 2/3. So if nothing else, the Braves are driving up the pitch count of this Brewers Game 1 starter. Broken back grounder left side. Adames will go the easy way to second for the force out that wraps up the top of the second. We're scoreless in Game 1.
0-0 in the bottom of the second in Milwaukee. Game 1 of the NLDS, and Charlie Morton on the mound for Atlanta. Somehow he is in the prime of his career at the age when most major leaguers are in decline. Although he made his big league debut at 24, all of his most impactful moments have come after his 33rd birthday. In 2017 with the Astros, he began leaning on that trademark curveball, and that postseason became a turning point. After giving up 7 runs and losing in Game 3 of the ALCS to the Yankees, Morton was given the ball again for Game 7. He got the win, later the win in Game 7 of the World Series as well. And he says from that moment on, quote, "I don't doubt myself the way I used to. He finally felt like he belonged." Well, guys, he belongs. He's had his best season since, and now at 37, he's as good as ever and sounds appreciative of this late career success. We talked to Brian Snitker. He's appreciative of having him on the mound.
So much so that he gives him the ball in Game 1 of this series.
And they re-signed him for 1 year, $20 million for next year. And Matt, you're right. He's continued to kind of get better as he's gotten older. And really, those 2 pitches, I think it's interesting early on seeing the Brewers' first 3 hitters all strike out on fastballs. You know, you get sometimes where you're so worried about that curveball that you forget he's still got 97 coming at you.
He struck out the side in order. Wong, Adames, and Yelich in the first. Obviously, Garcia with a tapper back towards the mound. Of the backhand goes Morton. Plants and throws, and it's dug out at first base by Freddie Freeman. So Garcia retired 1-3. As Morton quickly off the mound to the third base side to reel that in. Garcia's had some back problems and gingerly making his way to the dugout.
And Charlie got to this quick and short hop Freddie, but good play over at first base.
1 out in the second. 4 in a row retired by Morton to start his first postseason game of 2021. There's Rowdy Tellez. Regular season numbers for the Brewers first baseman. Went around according to Mike Estabrook.
I had a great talk with Rowdy down before today. Just talking how appreciative he was of the opportunity to come over here. Stuck in Toronto. Vlad Guerrero at first base. Probably not going to get through playing that. But for him, he's done great work over here for the Milwaukee Brewers.
Check swing foul off to the left. Remember to follow all the action of the postseason with the MLB app. From real-time tracking of every pitch to in-depth analysis of the games, download the MLB app today to make this postseason major. Some great matchups in 2021. I am so fired up for this postseason. And that includes right where we're sitting today.
It's been fun today. I think we both thought we'd see good pitchers doing so far. We're seeing that.
Swing and a miss, and Tellez strikes out. It's 4 strikeouts for Charlie Morton out of the gate today.
And you can see the curveball by Charlie. That's the other thing people don't realize when they watch Charlie Morton pitched on. He is kind of able to throw that curveball 2-3 different ways. He's got one that kind of is almost like a back foot slider type, and he's also got one he can backdoor to lefties, and then one that's kind of a get me over. So he knows how to kind of add and subtract to that pitch.
5 in a row retired by Morton, 4 by way of the K, and it brings up Eduardo Escobar. Talk about a veteran guy to pick up. This is it as Escobar comes over and is combined to hit 28 home runs, 90 runs batted in, and the .253 average.
Now that's the pitch that they're going to have to lay off if they want to get some hits and score some runs off Charlie.
Escobar coming over 2 days before the trade deadline. Homered in his first game as a Brewer, which was oddly enough against the Atlanta Braves.
And he's got to be excited for this chance. Got his 1,000th career hit October 2nd versus LA.
Waves at that and strikes out. Back-to-back Ks, 5 in all for Morton. Scoreless through 2. Let's take a look at today's odds powered by DraftKings Sportsbook. Odds question today: Corbin Burnes over under 8.5 strikeouts today. Over is +100. Under is -130. As we move along to the top of the third inning, and for the Braves, leading it off their pitcher Charlie Morton, who had 7 hits during the regular season, was 7 for 55 at the plate, and a 127 average coming in. He has dazzled on the mound today for the Braves. He's retired the first 6 Brewers he has faced, 5 by way of the K. He's got that curveball working.
I was going to say, Morton's got that curveball fastball combo right now working, and looks to be confusing these Brewers hitters a little bit.
Burnes trying to kind of find his way through 40 pitches through the first 2 innings. Finds that. That is strike 3. Third strikeout. We had the chance to talk to the manager of the Atlanta Braves, Brian Snitker, in between innings. Brian Snitker, let's start with your starter today. Your thoughts on Charlie Morton, what you've seen so far?
He's been really great. Breaking balls working. He's mixing it up good. Yeah, it's been Charlie.
Corbin Burnes, kind of high pitch count so far. Is that something y'all tried to work on coming in, or is it just going that way?
Well, it happened in the first inning. I mean, I hate that we didn't get anything out of that. And but you know, he threw a lot of pitches in the first. Hopefully, we can grind out a few bats and run his pitch count up.
Our thanks to Brian Snitker for joining us in between innings. And you know, it appears to me to be a different approach today against Burnes, as you pointed out in that question to Brian. And you know, this is a team that they're very aggressive at the plate, swinging the first or second pitch at least, and that's not been the approach today.
No, and Burnes only 34 walks on the year, yet here we are, 3 walks. You know, so look, there's some nerves coming in. I think the big thing for him is going to be finding that cutter. Right now, I think we're seeing it a little too far off the plate. If he can start getting it on that outside, he's going to get chases like we usually see him do.
Soler will lift this in the air to deep center field. Back goes Lorenzo Cain. It'll take him to the dirt of the track, but he's there to make the catch. One of the deepest parts of the yard here at American Family Field, and Cain back to the dirt of the track for out number 2. 27 regular season home runs for Soler. He's out number 2.
And Soler got a good pitch to go on, but wrong part of the field, dead center. One thing Burnes is doing, he might not have his ace stuff right now, but at the end of the day, what do aces do? They find a way to keep the other team at bay, and that's what he's doing.
2 down here in the third inning for Freddie Freeman. It's the second time through this order for Burnes. Shift on Freeman like most teams do. Brewers bring their third baseman Eduardo Escobar over to the right side to stack it up. Strike 2. Changed up.
Yeah, we've seen him throw quite a few to Freddie, even the first at bat, and he walked him. We've seen him this inning a little more back in the zone.
Strikes out Morton, gets Soler to fly out, and now battling with Freeman. Ball and 2 strikes to Freddie Freeman.
And Freeman got off to a slow start the first 2 months this year. Hit .237 in April, .233 in May. But then got to kind of back to Freddie Freeman when we saw over 300 the next 4 months for him.
Two pitch. Got him. The cutter to get him. The 4th strikeout for Corbin Burnes ends the 3rd. Last of the third in Milwaukee. It's game one of the NLDS. And so far scoreless. Charlie Morton matched up against Corbin Burns. What we expected is what we got so far. And here is Omar Narvaez to lead it off for the Brewers in the bottom of the third inning. And that's strike one from Charlie Morton, who's been throwing a lot of strikes. He has struck out 5 of the first 6 hitters he's faced.
He's been in complete control of both pitches so far with that fastball curveball combo.
To left, and Rosario moves over to make the catch for out number 1. In between innings, we had the chance to catch up with Craig Counsell, the manager of the Milwaukee Brewers. Craig, your thoughts so far in your starter, Corbin Burns, having to throw more pitches than he's used to here early.
Yeah, we made a really nice defensive play to get him through that first inning, and I think he's settling in pretty good right now. So in good shape, just putting up a 0 in that first, I think settles him down.
Craig, offensively, Morton 5 out of 6 Ks so far. What can y'all do offensively to kind of get it going?
Well, he's making a lot of pitches right now. He's been at the top of the zone with his fastball really good. It doesn't feel like we've got, you know, any balls in the middle of the plate. A couple curveball strikes early in the count last inning, so he's been tough so far.
Thanks to Craig Counsell. 1 out in the third, and Lorenzo Cain. That's out of the 8th spot for the Brewers.
Yeah, June 1st, he missed 46 games with a right hamstring, but since he's come back, he's put up good numbers and been healthy, running well.
Just all of the short season last year, opting out of 2020.
I thought Craig Counsell said it best, Don. I mean, we're watching Charlie Morton split the plate in and out, not really giving these Brewers hitters much to hit right now.
It's by Cain, and it's 2-2 to Lorenzo Cain. 7 in a row retired by Charlie Morton to start his day. With foul up over the Brewers dugout, first base way. The 2 division winners going head to head here. Central and NL East end up matched up in Milwaukee in game 1 of the NLDS. Two again from Charlie Morton. Line opposite field, base hit for Lorenzo Cain. First hit for the Brewers with 1 out in the third inning belongs to Lorenzo Cain.
What do you do when you got a guy who's basically throwing everything for a strike? Right here, he does a great job of basically jamming himself, just hitting the ball to right field, doesn't want to get out in front of the curveball. Lorenzo, a lot of postseason experience back with the Kansas City Royals and now here in Milwaukee, and he gets him on the board.
2 down, 1 down with a runner at first, and here is Burns, who stands in on the right side. On the grass at third is Riley, anticipating the bunt. There it is, but it goes first base way. Freeman's going to second, and it's in time. Nabs the lead runner in Cain. No hesitation there from Freddie Freeman, a big key to getting that runner at second base.
Well, Freddie Freeman won a Gold Glove last year at first base for the Atlanta Braves, and right here is the reason why. Watch him charge, and he wastes no time. He commits to it and goes and throws a perfect strike to Dansby Swanson and just gets him.
Able to keep that toe on the bag too on the high throw. No challenge. And a great look there in our base cam. Top of the order, Colton Wong. Second look at Charlie Morton today.
I was going to say, you kind of be interested now to see how this Brewers offense kind of fights back. They've seen him now one time. Most of them seen both curveball and fastball.
Out ahead of this and fouling it off. New career high for Colton Wong this year, 14 home runs. Two different oblique injuries. Two different stints on the IL. And a left calf strain to go along with that. He's played a Gold Glove caliber second base without question. Former St. Louis Cardinal who strikes out to end the inning. 6 strikeouts for Morton through 3 without a score.
Sequence here against Freddie Freeman last inning. Couple change-ups to start him, gets him 0-2, comes back with the curveball, then he kind of goes up and away, and then this is his pitch. That cutter at 94 to strike out the MVP from last year. We've seen Burns maybe settle in a little bit last inning. That was a sequence that might get him back.
51 total pitches through the first 3 innings for Corbin Burns, and he'll deal with the teeth now of this Atlanta Braves order. 3, 4, and 5 coming up for Atlanta. Ozzie Albies to lead it off. The recipient of strike 1, well placed.
Yeah, and so far Ozzie Albies with the biggest at bat of the game, kind of turning point. Braves 1st and 3rd in the first inning, and he got him to roll over to first base and then got the out at home.
Third baseman for the Brewers again on the right side. Escobar with Wong and Tellez. It's a hands out of the way of the pitch up and in. Albies one of the most consistent performers in baseball, especially at second base since his first All-Star season back in 2018. He's played the most games since then at second base, 503. Second in home runs with 84 during that time, only trailing Javi Baez with 102. There's his NL ranks this season.
Like I said, pound for pound, It's the ball farther than anybody in baseball.
Yeah, what are we looking at here? Buck 50?
Buck 48.
Okay.
Soaking wet.
Two and two.
And that's his kind of Achilles heel. That back foot slider cutter for him. He's an aggressive hitter. But Ron Washington, the Braves third base coach, has coached a lot of great infielders over the years. This might be his favorite.
I have watched him work hours and hours on the field on their knees every day of every Braves game I've done this season. And they are tirelessly working every day on this ground ball thing.
And here's that big play. You go back to the first. Burns walks two guys. Still has the ground ball. And then great play at home plate of blocking the plate, but also getting the scoop and kind of changed the momentum and shifted it right back to the Brewers here in the top of the first.
It's ball three and a full count now to Albies. What is that thing they're working on every day?
Ron Washington has a set of drills that he will go through with all his infielders every day, and there's no off days. Even when you're not playing, he makes you come out and do it. And I think we've watched Wash for a long time. Probably one of the hardest working coaches out there.
Seems to have a special connection with Albies, though. They work so hard together. Taps it foul over by the Brewers dugout. They're housed on the first base side at American Family Field. Sun is headed down. It's a late afternoon start. Game one of the NLDS. Jam-packed American Family Field for the first. Waiting to explode, but we are scoreless here as the Braves bat in the fourth. Eighth pitch. This plate appearance coming up for Albies. And it's a soft ground ball to Tellez. He'll flip to Burns for the first out of the fourth inning. Well, don't forget to get your game on MLBshop.com. Authentic on-field caps, tees, hoodies, and more. Get all your postseason gear and wear what the champs wear at the official source, MLBshop.com.
Well, Don, I think this is where you're seeing Corbin Burns start to figure it out when he's getting swing and misses and, you know, tough looking swings on his cutter like you're seeing. You figure he's kind of settled in now, pitching like an ace.
This is the first out of the fourth inning. He has retired 5 in a row. And here's Austin Riley, who was a strikeout victim in the first inning. Tried to hold up, could not. He's been fooled a couple times. He's had some indecisive swings so far against Burns. 1 of 4 Ks so far for Burns.
Well, Burns pitching him a little backwards and different than he has a lot of these other Braves hitters. Seen more slider curveball to Riley instead of that cutter.
And a shift on the left side here against Riley. He takes it the other way, popping it up, sending Tellez into foul ground. And the Brewers first baseman makes the catch for out number 2. Well, time for our Lone Depot home means everything RBI stat. NL RBI leaders, Duvall the top at 113 to lead the National League. Don't forget, for every RBI during the NLCS, Lone will be donating $1,000 to the Boys and Girls Club of America. That's on top of the over $500,000 they have already.
You see the Atlanta Braves, one of the best offenses in baseball. 3 leaders in RBIs in that lineup today.
Here is Duvall, who pops it up into short left, sending Adames backpedaling, calling and catching out number 3. We are scoreless after 3.5. Stay tuned for a message brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of MLB.
This Braves franchise for a bit, 145 years to be exact. They played in Boston from 1876 through 1952, won the 14 World Series. Moved to Milwaukee in 1953, where they played 13 years, won the 57 title, then made their way to Atlanta in 1966, where, of course, they continue to call the ATL home. And today, the first ever Wisconsin playoff homecoming for the Braves.
It is an interesting route.
Yeah. I just think it's so ironic that the first year after Hank's passing, these two teams meet up.
It is.
It meant so much to both organizations, both cities.
Adames leading it off here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Yelich and Garcia, and look out, watch your face. Down goes Adames.
After seeing that first curveball, to see that fastball, you actually see Charlie Morton here kind of put his head down, knows that was close.
And coming in at 96 miles an hour with lots of run. Adames, a strikeout victim in the first. He went looking as he takes a look at a strike.
Change up for Charlie.
Traded to the Brewers on May 21st. Brewers at the time, they were 21-23, under 500, third in the NL Central. That's about all you need to know. The rest is history. And on a run and won the division as Adames strikes out. The high fastball he chases. Strikeout number 7 for Charlie Morton.
Yeah, I think Adames more than anything, as he chases and gets his second K with a fastball up. But talking to some of these Brewers players changed the mindset of this team and really brought an attitude. And as you said, when he came over, 2 games under to 30 games over the rest of the way.
Frustrated as he takes the 7th strikeout for Charlie Morton with him. Yelich struck out his first time and takes strike 1. Getting a call that time was Morton.
And Morton got a nice call on a fastball up. Should be 1-0.
Shadows encompassing the field, the exception of the last rays of sunshine in left. It's a 2-hopper to Freddie Freeman. He will need help, and over is Morton for the out. And Yelich retired 3-1. MLB celebrates historic Hispanic Month by recognizing the contributions made to our game by the Latino baseball community, past and present. Follow at Las Mayores and at MLB, and visit LasMayores.com for full coverage.
See how Morton attacks Garcia here. Garcia loves to get after it first couple pitches. Hit 374 with 15 home runs on the first 2 pitches of an AB. We saw the first time, went after the first 2 pitches again, fouled them both off. A lot of pop, 29 home runs this year, career high.
Battling somewhat of a lower back problem. Carves it foul to the screen for strike 1.
I remember the first time I saw him play, kind of remind you of a mini Miggy.
Yes.
Miguel Cabrera with the way he looks. Yeah, that's. I know he's not got to that, but like I said, 29 home runs this year. His career high was 20 before in Tampa in 19.
He was a teammate of Miggy at one time in Detroit and in the postseason with the Tigers. It's the Oakland A's.
And here's a spray chart this year for home runs. Another guy like we showed you, Adames on the open, that is not scared to shoot the ball to center field or right field. Got power to all parts.
Two down here in the 4th inning. And an 0-2 to Garcia coming up. inside out swing, and that is sent foul down the right field line, out of play. Yeah, it's been back spasms that have been the problem for the last month plus. Getting some time off from time to time. Try to keep him fresh and in the lineup. You want that bat in the lineup as much as you possibly can if you're Craig Counsell.
Well, and that's one thing the Brewers have kind of the last 3 months, they were in complete control of that NL Central. So they had the ability to rest guys and get them healthy.
Swing and a miss, and he strikes out of the 96. 8 strikeouts for Morton. We're scoreless through 4.
The MLB postseason on TBS is brought to you by Good Sam RV Parks, America's largest campground network, by Hankook Tire, never halfway, and by Geico. Happy Geico-ween, switch to Geico for more ways to save.
5th inning, game 1 of the NLDS from Milwaukee. As Eddie Rosario about to lead it off here for the Atlanta Braves. Corbin Burnes has found his way. He has retired the last 8 Braves in a row. Rosario line to right his first time up, and he'll take strike 1. Grabs that outside corner.
Well, first 2 innings really kind of struggled finding his place. 23 pitches now. The last 2 innings have really gotten a groove. Throwing 33 cutters, 20 of them for strikes, and Braves are 0 for 5 against the cutter, putting balls in play. I mean, does this surprise you that this turned into a pitching matchup?
No. What surprised me was the way it started, though, for Burnes. That really surprised me. First 2 innings, as you mentioned, 40 pitches without the good defense behind him, and getting out of that inning unscathed. And that seemed to give him the confidence back again, and took away what was a great momentum start for the Atlanta Braves, not scoring in that first inning. And now it has become nothing but a pitcher's duel at the moment. Burnes and Charlie Morton, who's been good right out of the gate, who just relinquished his first hit and has gone the first 4 innings throwing 50 pitches. He's got 8 strikeouts through the first 4, does Charlie Morton. The 2-1 to Rosario.
That's when Burns has had such a big year. The expectations for him, we're sitting here talking because of the 3 walks, yet he ain't given up a hit. We're in the top of the 5th.
That's right. 3 walks, 2 in the first, 1 in the second. Braves looking for their first hit of this game. And again, in a stretch right now of 8 in a row. Retired. This shift on the right side, per usual, has the Brewers third baseman as part of it. As Escobar closest to second base on that right side, with Wong ducking back to short right. 2-2. Bloop to shallow center. Out is and unable to make the catch. Wong right in front of Kane, and there's your first hit. Rosario dunks one into shallow right center field for a base hit to begin the 5th inning.
I'll tell you, Wong was really gaining traction on this Rosario bloop. I thought he was going to be able to get there. I mean, great pitch. Right on the white line cutter. Did exactly what he was supposed to do. Blew him up. Just enough out of the reach of Wong.
Escobar really had no chance. He started off being the closest to it, but Wong cannot run it down, and it's a base hit for Rosario that starts the Braves' 5th inning. Here's Travis d'Arnaud. One of the 3 walks handed out by Corbin Burns. Strike 1, he got a call.
Late call for sure, but for Burns, now that you're seeing him more in the zone, Don, you tend to get these calls. If you're missing 6, 7, 8 inches off the plate, you know, you don't give the umpire much to think about, but when you start all around that K zone, a guy like him, he's going to get those calls.
Known for his cutter that has not been his best so far today.
No, but yet still getting the job done.
On the ground to third, could be 2. Escobar to second for 1, on to first, it is 2. Around the horn go the Brewers. 5-4-3 on the DP.
Well, great play. d'Arnaud right to Escobar. An easy double play for the Brewers defense.
That was our T-Mobile base cam. Tonight's base cam is presented by T-Mobile, the leader in 5G coverage. The second double play in this game turned by the Brewers defensively takes us to Dansby Swanson. Reached on a fielder's choice in the 2nd inning. Taking a hack at that first offering.
Yeah, there's that cutter. 94 down in the zone. And as a hitter, you're just not going to do anything with that pitch. Not for any damage, at least.
Pretty much straight up. Swanson carves it foul and finds himself down 0-2.
Well, when Burns is going great from the start, you're going to get what he did in Cleveland. 14 K. The 10 consecutive strikeouts against the Cubs. He's had 8 starts this year with 10+ Ks. This, to me, is where a true ace comes out. Finds a way to get through those first 2 innings, and now he's clicking on all cylinders.
They're up in Milwaukee again. Cutter missing away at 94. Welcome those of you watching the ALDS with the Astros winning again today. Welcome you to Milwaukee. Line to left, and that is going to get in for a base hit in front of Yelich. A 2-out single for Dansby Swanson.
Looks like he got a slider from Burns on this one. Didn't necessarily hit it hard, but got enough to loop it in the left field. And if anything, for the Braves, it at least clears Charlie Morton with 2 outs.
Burns upset with himself there. 2 down and Swanson at first base. And here is Charlie Morton, who struck out looking in the 3rd, getting his second look at Burns. The throw over has Swanson back to the bag. The Braves had not had a hit coming into this, the 5th. They have 2 singles in this inning. One quickly erased on a double play grounded into by Darno. Now Swanson at first, and they check on him again. Against Burns, opponents are 18 for 20 in stolen bases.
Yeah, with that being said, this is a situation where I don't think you're going to see Dansby Swanson going with Charlie Morton up to bat.
Taking a hack of that 94 cutter.
I mean, it's almost unfair that you can throw a cutter 94 to 96.
It's a hard cut.
Yeah, you think?
Fouls this one off at the plate and is down 0-2. Estabrook, home plate umpire, has gotten a few. Second one this inning. Going off the shoulder.
Yeah.
Up again in Milwaukee with 2 outs and 2 strikes. Fouls that one off again. It's Estabrook, the home plate umpire, who has the mask rattled right off.
He gave a little smile on that one. Taking a beat in this inning.
Wow. All eyes on the 6-man crew looking in on him, make sure he's okay. This was 6 umpires in the postseason, 2 down the line. And 0-2 to Charlie Morton. Grounded back to the mound softly. Burns will throw to first. That'll end the inning. Corbin Burns is through the first 5 with scoreless from Milwaukee. You're watching the 2021 National League Division Series. It's presented by Good Sam. Back in Milwaukee at American Family Field, where we are scoreless to the bottom of the 5th inning, game 1 of this NLDS. Rowdy Tellez to lead it off for the Brewers. And he takes strike 1, 97 right down the middle.
When we talk about Burns, good work. Morton on the other side, 50 total pitches through the first 4 innings, 39 strikes. And he's gotten 6 out of the 8 done on the fastball. So he's kind of flipped the script on these Brewers hitters.
It's a good moving fastball, though, a ton of movement.
He does a good job in the fact that he kind of just lets it go. Sometimes it sinks and runs. Sometimes it'll go dart up in the zone. And that's what makes his fastball so effective.
He struck out Rowdy Tellez in the 2nd inning. Here he is in the 5th as the Braves are in a shift on the right side. And it's a grounder left side. Swanson handles out number 1. Well, don't miss the Red Sox and Rays in game 2 of the ALDS tonight on FS1 at 7 p.m. And then the Dodgers and Giants in game 1 of the NLDS on TBS 9 p.m. or on ESPN Radio. Full schedule is available at MLB.com.
What about Tampa, man? They flexed their muscle in game 1 last night against Boston.
Yeah, they did. Well, Rosarena, he is just Mr. October all of a sudden.
I was going to say what he did last year and now stealing home last night.
Incredible. 1 out in the 5th. Eduardo Escobar, strikeout victim in the 2nd, but he's not alone in that category. Charlie Morton has 8 strikeouts through 4 1/3 innings. Morton's career high for the postseason is 9 strikeouts. That was Tampa Bay at Houston in the 2019 ALDS. The single game postseason record for the Braves, 11 for Smoltz, who's done it twice.
Watch out, Smoltz.
Yep. Charlie Morton with 8 strikeouts through 4 1/3. Slaps it foul off to the left out of play.
Well, that's the thing facing Morton right now for these Brewers hitters. He's got both these pitches working. And so right now, if you're up at that plate, it's a battle. It's a flip of the coin which pitch you're going to get. And then you heard Craig Counsell talk after the 2nd inning. And when we are getting a pitch, it's nothing we can handle right now.
Got the impression this decision to start Morton in game 1 was a no-brainer for Brian Snitker. Yeah,
look, Max Fried, the Braves game 2 starter, has been throwing great, but the experience of the postseason for Charlie Morton.
That's strike 3, make it 9 strikeouts for Morton. 2 down here in the 5th inning.
I think it'd make it hard, Don, for any manager not to go with him. Backdoor curveball that Escobar kind of gives up on. You're used to seeing that curveball more back foot. And this one just kind of, he gives up on it. And he gets the call.
9 strikeouts today. That ties the playoff career high for him in 2019. It was game 3 of the ALDS. 2 outs in the 5th takes us to Omar Narvaez. Fly to left in the 3rd, 0 for 1. That announcement from Brian Snitker virtually came a day after the Atlanta Braves had clinched the NL East. He was making that decision very quickly that it would be Morton in game 1.
Turned out to be the right decision so far. Really, both managers. You know, Brandon Woodruff going for the Brewers tomorrow is nasty too, but when you had Burns in the year he's got, hard not to throw him out there game 1 also. Both these pitchers have lived up to it.
These teams are extremely evenly matched during the regular season. Season series was even. This one is fouled back.
And another curveball. Omar's seen 5 pitches today, 4 curveballs. And you go break it down. He's hitting 290 on the year off the fastball, only 179 on breaking stuff. You can see Charlie Morton trying to take advantage of that.
Over the shift into right. Soler's not going to get there. Played on a hop, but it's a base hit for Narvaez. Kind of fought that off. And only the second hit for the Brewers. This one comes with 2 down.
We got the curveball, and there's one that you see that's in the zone that he can handle, and he puts a great swing on it. Another guy that probably enjoyed having these 4 or 5 days off, Dom, between the season. He's caught his most games in his career, 111 this year. Had that huge first half. A guy like Dansby Swanson might have got a little tired in the second half.
Strike one to Lorenzo Cain. Single to right. He's got the other Brewers hit in this game. Recently, Narvaez with 2 outs is blooped single to right. Now a grounder left side to the backhand of Swanson. Will go to second for the force out that will end the inning. 6-4. The force out of Narvaez sends us to the 6th without a score in Milwaukee.
Need to focus on the game? Hey Siri, turn on Do Not Disturb.
We venture into the 6th inning back in Milwaukee. Back on the hill is Corbin Burns as he'll be dealing with the top of the order for the Atlanta Braves. It'll be Soler, Freeman, and Albies. And you might be surprised to find out that 3rd time through for Burns is very different from the first 2 times through. Now, you would think for most pitchers that is the case, but maybe not for what could be the NL Cy Young Award winner.
Well, first time 155, second time 175. And then the 3rd time through the order this season, you see those numbers a little different. But with that being said, I feel like Burns, it took a few innings. The way he's throwing the ball, I don't know if it matters right now. Morton getting ready to come up with the third time through the order. Both these managers, I'm guessing the way their starters are throwing, I don't think they're paying attention to those numbers about now. I know I wouldn't.
Yeah. Soler has walked and flied out to the warning track in 2 previous plate appearances against Burns. And he leads it off in the 6th. He is the leadoff hitter in the Braves order. Big cut and a miss, evens the count at 2-2.
I was going to say, out of all the Braves hitters, Soler might have so far seen Burns the best. Took a walk in the 1st and just missed a homer to Kane in center field. Back to what, in the 3rd inning.
Coming off a hot September, .519 slugging percentage in the final month of the season at 8 doubles, 6 homers. Good way to finish off. Swings at the 2-2 and strikes out. 5 strikeouts for Corbin Burns, and those are the cutter to get it done.
Well, another cutter down in the zone. And as a hitter, just even if you put it in play, there's not much you can do with it. Great pitch by Burns.
1 out in the 6th inning, and Freddie Freeman now stepping in for the 3rd time against Burns. It's jammed and grounds into the shift. It's Wong running in to throw him out. 2 down. DraftKings is the best place to get in on the MLB action with daily fantasy prizes. Use promo code HEAT when you sign up today.
If you bet a pitcher's doing this game, so far you're doing a pretty good job.
Yep. 2 down in the 6th. Ozzie Albies 0 for 2 so far. Atlanta's second baseman has bounced into a big double play in the 1st inning and grounded out again to 1st in the 4th inning. So both times Rowdy Tellez has been up to the task, and to this point that might be the biggest play of the game. It was 1st and 3rd, nobody out for the Braves in the 1st inning, and Albies grounds into that 3 unassisted. And Riley struck out, and Burns, although he had to throw 22 1st inning pitches, get out of that inning unscathed.
Well, you look right now, the Brewers have not really had an opportunity to score off Charlie Morton. The Braves, they had it in the 1st, and Burns after that kind of has settled down now and really held this lineup at bay.
They've been on their feet a lot in Milwaukee. They're back up again. And Burns ahead of Albies, 1-2. 2-2.
Well, the fans got a lot to be excited about here right now. It's a sports town. Bucks won it all. Packers rolling. They win the Central. As a golfer, I got to throw in the Ryder Cup. The USA dominated up at the Straits.
Full count. Brewers are shifting on the right side again. It's Escobar, the 3rd baseman, on that right side. It's how they shift. They really have not gone away from that at all so far defensively. Escobar and Wong, along with Tellez, build that wall on the right side. Elvis is in Milwaukee. 2nd full count to Albies. Grounded foul outside of 1st. I thought it was Fonzie that was in Milwaukee. Apparently Elvis is here too.
Kim joined him.
Yeah. There he is.
Drinking the champagne of beers, too.
Strike 3 call. Albies hates it. It's the 6th strikeout for Burns. We're scoreless.
New city, so I like to go around and explore every time that I can. And with my active cash card, I earn 2% cash rewards on purchases, whether I'm bowling or grabbing a bite to eat.
Last of the 6th inning, game 1 of the NLDS from Milwaukee. Thought it was going to be a pitcher's duel. It has lived up to it. Burns appears he will be done after 91 pitches. Got a pinch hitter, Daniel Vogelbach, who will bat for him here, who leads it off in the bottom of the 6th inning.
And right now there, look, Burns, the old 91 pitches. Could you send them back out there for one more? Yes, but at the same time, they're looking for any sort of offense. Trying to hope Vogelbach can deliver.
Originally returned to the Brewers. Thought he would platoon with Keston here at first base. Kind of struggled in the early going to the season. Missed a total of 59 games at Vogelbach with the hamstring strain. Expected to kind of be used this way, coming off the bench to pinch hit, as he does to lead off the bottom of the 6th inning. Ahead 3-0. And he walks on 4 pitches. The first walk allowed by Morton is Vogelbach.
And despite that walk through the first 5 innings today, you're seeing Charlie Morton's dominance. Look at every single curveball gone out of the zone, down low, and that fastball up.
Pinch runner at first to be Jackie Bradley Jr., who takes over to pinch run for Vogelbach. Plantar fasciitis problem in September, but appears to be fine and good to go. Craig Counsell told us for the game he is pretty much 100% now. And he pinch runs at first, lead runner on for the first time in this game for the Brewers, and a check on him, almost threw it away.
Well, this type of game right here, one run might mean the difference. Getting late in the bottom of the 6th.
Right into the runner.
Bang bang play also.
Yes. Old Wong 0 for 2. Almost got away. Darnell, they may have got crossed up there. He seems surprised. He goes out to talk to Morton.
Funny things how quick they can change in the postseason. Morton for 5 innings in complete control, and now 5 pitches. Now we're close to the zone. He doesn't have quite the splits that Burns does the 3rd time through the order. 241.
There's not been a lot of traffic. There's only been 2 at bats with runners in scoring position between both teams. And the Braves 0 for 2. The Brewers still have not had a runner get into scoring position. Thrown over again and again. Almost hitting Jackie Bradley Jr. Working with 9 strikeouts through the first 5+ innings. Just handed out his first walk. Very high, and it's 2-0.
Well, Morton's only had a throw from the stretch a couple times today, and all of a sudden you've seen him throw over now to first base twice to Jackie Bradley Jr. Wonder if that's affecting him a little bit.
He walked Vogelback on 4 pitches, and now he's fallen behind 2-0, so that's 6 straight. Wong lifts a fly ball, short left field. Swanson out. Rosario towards the line will get there to make the catch. He went a very long way, but makes the catch in fair ground for the first out of the bottom of the 6th inning.
And sometimes you wonder about that call. 6 straight balls, and you go after that. I know it's the whole, if you get a good pitch to go on, you got to be aggressive and go, but at the same time, Rosario had to go a long ways for that ball, made the catch, got there in time, but you wonder, 6 balls in a row, maybe you make him throw a strike at that point. With Adames and Yelich coming up behind him.
Braves in a shift on the left side for Adames. 1 out. Pinch runner Bradley Jr. checked on again. Wong and Adames, the top 2 hitters in the Brewers order. Together they have gone 0 for 5 with 4 strikeouts. Back is Bradley. Big gap in left center field for Adames. In the air to center. Duvall started back, now comes in a few steps to make the catch. He got fooled on that one. But fortunate it hung up long enough, and there are now 2 outs in the 6th inning. Swing fooled him, I think.
Yeah, good sinker by Charlie Morton. They run it in on Adames' hands. I think he might have broke his bat. And I think you're seeing why Charlie keeps throwing over. Knows 1 run so important in this game right now.
There's Christian Yelich. Yelich 0 for 2. Struck out swinging in the first inning. Grounded out to first base in the fourth. Hits have been tough to come by. The Braves have 2. The Brewers have 2.
In a minute, if Jackie Bradley Jr. takes a chance, tries to get in scoring position and give this Brewers team a chance.
Yelich fouls it off. And the count evens at 1-1. .75 pitches for Charlie Morton. There's 2 outs in the 6th inning. Very high for ball 2. Fastball that has been darting every which way has been out of control this inning, really, for the first time.
See Braves pitching coach Rick Kranitz talking to Ryan Snicker.
Fly ball down the left field line. Rosario over towards the line, has a play, and he makes it. So left at first base is Bradley Jr. To the 7th we go, scoreless from Milwaukee. You're watching the 2021 National League Division Series, and it's presented by Good Sam. Welcome back to Milwaukee and American Family Field. It's time for the next Matters Most, presented by Roman. And next for the Milwaukee Brewers is Adrian Hauser.
He's been a starter for the Brewers almost all year. 28 appearances, 26 of them starts. But the reason he's in right now to face Austin Riley Duvall, one of the best sinkers in baseball.
Only 2 games out of the pen during the regular season, and his last was July 23rd. Second career postseason game for Hauser. And we talked to Craig Counsell before the game. Of course, they're without Devin Williams for the entire postseason. The first name he mentioned was Adrian Hauser.
Well, he's got one of those, we said, a great sinker to these righties.
Slowly rolled left side. Adames races in, throws on the run, and in time. Nice play by Willie Adames to retire Riley for the first out of the 7th inning.
Well, and you see it right there. 59% ground ball rate, 3rd in the NL. And good play by Adames. Had a charge out, was not hit hard. Riley runs well. Makes a great play.
Very appreciative is Hauser. 1 out in the 7th inning for Adam Duvall. Ball 1 for 5 in his career against Hauser. In this game, 0 for 2. He struck out swinging and popped out to short. On the ground down the third baseline foul. Just to the left of the bag.
Well, we saw Burns today. 6 innings, 2 hits, 3 walks, all in the first 2 innings. And 6 Ks. Maybe not the high strikeout we've seen, but a great outing from him for this Milwaukee Brewers club.
Braves were very patient. He had to throw 40 pitches through 2 innings, but boy, after that he was back to being Corbin Burns for the remaining 4 innings of his outing. On the ground, Adames this time an easier play, and he makes it 2 down in the 7th inning. T-Mobile covers the most interstate highways, miles with 5G. Home or away, stay connected to your team with T-Mobile, the leader in 5G coverage. Two down in the 7th, 5 in a row. Retired here by Brewers pitching, and it brings up Eddie Rosario. Instantly into a shift. Go the Brewers on the right side. Third AB for Rosario. Is line to right and single to center.
You know, majority of the time these 5-game series like this, 1 or 2 of the starters you're going to see a lot of times move down to the pen. And we talked Craig Counsell, you know, Woodruff's game 2, Peralta's game 3, and they got a couple options for game 4. And he kind of told us, look, after game 2, you kind of see who you've used and then make that decision.
Ground to right side. It's into the shift. It's Escobar, third baseman. Toss to first, ends the inning. 3 ground ball outs, 7th inning stretch without a score. Omar Narvaez coming in hot at second base. It's our T-Mobile base cam. Tonight's base cam is presented by T-Mobile, the leader in 5G coverage. Right into your living room.
I love that look.
Back in Milwaukee. And it's time for the Geico game summary as we get ready for the bottom of the 7th. Charlie Morton, who is still in this game. 6 shutout innings, just the 2 hits. Corbin Burns is gone. He went the first 6. And the Braves grounding into not 1 but 2 double plays. Lorenzo Cain, kind of the offensive leader for the Brewers. There has not been much offense. Combined 4 hits in this game. And Cain is 1 for 2 as we go to the bottom of the 7th, and 78 pitches for Charlie Morton.
And the way this game's kind of going, you feel like it's one mistake, one big hit from somebody might be the difference.
It's getting late. Yasiel Garcia takes strike 1.
I thought maybe we saw the first crack in Charlie Morton last inning, 6 balls in a row. And then he came back and got the guys out. And with him up third, he's got to know this is my last inning right here.
Garcia 0 for 2 has grounded back to the mound and struck out swinging. Leads it off in the home half of the 7th inning. Straightens him up. Morton off the back of the hill in the midst of a meeting with himself again. Been a few times the 37-year-old veteran has taken some time, and he's really upset with himself now. Hits him. The head 1 and 2, and hits Garcia. For the 2nd straight inning, the Brewers have the lead runner on.
Well, he got ahead of him 0-2 on 2 great pitches, curveballs and then a sinker, and now the 2nd one in a row he just kind of let go and tailed on him. Got him right on the side of the forearm.
So Garcia at first with nobody out. Rowdy Tellez. Ball 1.
And this is where it's, I think, so tough on managers in these type games. You got one of the best postseason pitchers in Charlie Morton on the mound. But you're deep into the 7th inning now. And bottom of the 7th, and you got Luke Jackson down in the pen for the Braves, who has had an outstanding year. How far do you let your veteran go?
Grabs the corner, 1-1.
Bill talked last night at dinner, Don, about how some of these big-time pitchers getting the hook pretty quick this postseason. Been a storyline, kind of.
Not here, not today.
No, no. They've let these 2 guys kind of go.
Down the left field line, and it's making its way foul. On the run was Rosario. No chance down by the tarp area for Rowdy Tellez.
He broke his bat.
Yep, needs a new twig.
I told you I had a chance to talk to Rowdy down by the batting cage today, and I thought it was hilarious to ask him about how to face Charlie Morton. He said, you know, you watch him film, but then you start seeing guys swing and miss, and you're like, maybe I'm not going to watch film. Put some bad thoughts in your head.
I'm going to keep it positive.
Yeah, absolutely.
He has one of the 9 strikeouts for Charlie Morton today. One, 2. Fly ball, hit it out towards deep right center field. Duvall looking up, and that ball is gone. A 2-run home run for Rowdy Tellez puts the Brewers on top, 2-0. Massive blast to right center field for Tellez.
Well, he got a fastball mistake and punished that thing all the way off the top of the scoreboard in center field, or bottom part of it, excuse me. And a guy that came from Toronto in late July is going to send Charlie Morton to the showers.
411 feet, 109.3 on the exit velo. At 11 during the regular season. Palmer's here to give the Brewers a 2-0 lead and chase Charlie Morton from this game.
Well, that's a big man, and he got the bat head to the zone. So that ball went all the way off the blue part below the scoreboard.
2-0 Milwaukee. The pitching change from Milwaukee.
Commissioner of Baseball, and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent.
Rowdy Tellez has just put the Milwaukee Brewers on top 2-0 in Game 1 of the NLDS. With a 2-run shot, Luke Jackson takes over now for the Braves and induces a swing from Eduardo Escobar. He appeared in tied for the most games, 71 games this year for the Atlanta Braves.
And he's second in the MLB in holds in 31. And that pitch you just saw, one of the best sliders in the game. Opponent's hitting 159 with 51 Ks against it this year.
Skips in 1-2. Escobar had no luck against Charlie Morton. Was 0 for 2. Struck out swinging and looking. Morton ends up with 9 strikeouts in 6+ innings.
That's a tough thing in these ball games. The deeper you go and it's scoreless like that, one swing of the bat can mean the difference.
Line back where it came from and into center field. Escobar, the ringing single over the shoulder of Luke Jackson.
Yeah, Luke got too much of the plate with that pitch.
So now the Brewers are looking to obtain some insurance after the 2-run home run by Tellez, the single by Escobar. Now Omar Narvaez. Shift to the Braves on the right side of the infield. Keep it tight to the infield. The double play scenario in order. Swanson, Albies, and Freeman.
And you know you got a slower runner at home plate right now, so if you get a ground ball, you get a little bit of extra time to get to that bag at second.
Slow roller, kicks foul.
Yeah, it looked like Charlie Moore was trying to kind of throw that two-seamer and run it back on the inner part, and he just got a little too much of the plate. He's had a lot of postseason starts. Might have been the best we've seen him yet in the postseason. And one swing kind of changed the momentum.
And 6+ for Charlie Morton. 3 hits, 2 runs, the 2-run home run by Tellez. He walks 1 and strikes out 9. On the hook at the moment. As Jackson backs off. Narvaez into the shift. Albies will go to second for 1, to first for 2. Double play turned by the Braves. They needed that, and they're able to turn it. A little awkward the way it started because they were in the shift on the right side, but they get it turned.
Yeah, well, it's always, you know, a little interesting when the shortstop's got to go to the bag the other way. But as I said, plenty of time. They get him by 4 or 5 steps still.
Coming in hard, it's our T-Mobile base cam, and tonight's base cam is presented by T-Mobile, the leader in 5G coverage. Lorenzo Cain with 2 outs in the inning.
Lorenzo 3 for 3 career off Luke Jackson.
Cain has singled to right and grounded into a fielder's choice. One, 2 to Cain. It's going to miss. Well, we talked to Craig Counts before the game what he was going to do in the 8th inning with Devin Williams gone for the postseason. And one name he did not mention was Freddie Peralta. Guess who's up?
Yeah, it's your Monday starter, your game 3 starter. Look, I mean, it'd be a bullpen day for him. You know, throw an inning. He throws an inning today. It's Friday. There's no reason can't start on Monday. And in a 5-game series, you've got to do everything you can to win a ball game.
3-2 pitch. And wraps it foul.
Well, no one was up until he hit that home run, so I think he had every intention with Hauser being a starter of running him back up there.
That guy changed the plan.
He did with his new bat.
3-2 pitch again. To third, the big high hop for Austin Riley, who throws out Cain, but the damage has been done by the Milwaukee Brewers, and namely Rowdy Tellez. His 2-run home run puts Milwaukee on top 2-0. Nicely done, Ernie.
He's always got the good one.
Good stuff. Rowdy Tellez, a 2-run home run. The Brewers have that 2-0 lead thanks to him. And Adrian Hauser back on the mound. The pitcher spot did not come up. So he is back out there after having a 1-2-3 7th inning. And he deals with the bottom of the order for the Braves. Travis d'Arnaud leading it off here for Atlanta.
And that's the advantage with the Braves being a right-handed heavy lineup. And you can bring Hauser back out with d'Arnaud, Swanson leading it off.
Strikes him out for the first out of the 8th inning. First strikeout for Adrian Hauser.
Right, here's that big sinker of his. Look at the movement on it, down and in. He had the feeling when Craig Counsell mentioned Hauser's name right away today. That was the guy to me to kind of neutralize some of this Braves right-handed power. And you've seen it be put to work.
Dansby Swanson running into a fielder's choice in the 2nd. Single to left in the 5th. The Devin Williams situation really highlighted though here in game 1, because here you are in the 8th inning, his spot where he normally would be, and he is not available for you.
Well, and usually, you know, when he comes in at this point, you're not going to have anybody warming up in the pen. Well, they got Ashby, the lefty, warming up now, so it's kind of, like you said, a little different than what they've done all year. They still got Peralta warming up too,
along with Aaron Ashby, as you mentioned. Swing and a miss, and it's 2-2 to Dansby Swanson. Eight in a row retired right now by Brewers pitching with 1 down in the 8th. Jock Peterson has come out on deck. He would bat in the pitcher's spot. This case would be for Luke Jackson. Foul back. We'll do it again. 3-2.
And that's when you know you got your good sinker working. Look, 3-2. Dansby had to be selling out sinker with the score 2-0, not wanting to put the tying run up. Got a lot of good movement on that pitch.
Sinker, one of the best in baseball. On the ground to 3rd, and down the line guarding it was Escobar. The throw is in time. 2 down. Right down the line, and Escobar was there.
And playing the line with the 8th inning, not wanting to give anything. And now with the lefty Jock Peterson pinch hitting, this is where all that strategy comes into play. You got the lefty down in the pen. With that being said, I think Craig Counsell knows the way Hauser's throwing, and with Soler on deck.
Yep. On the phone.
I think he's going to favor this matchup, I would think, than the other one.
Talking about Hauser's ground ball rate, 59%. All 4 balls in play against Hauser have been groundouts. Jock Peterson, the pinch hitter, takes strike 1. One of the first additions of that new look outfield for the Atlanta Braves, and the newcomers that really got the season jump started for Atlanta. Down 0-2.
A wealth of postseason experience for Jock. 852 OPS in the postseason with 9 home runs in 64 games.
His first 7 seasons in the big leagues with the LA Dodgers. They're up in Milwaukee again with 2 down in the 8th. The 0-2 in the air down the left field line, headed foul.
I'll tell you, with no Josh Hader warming up, though, and Freddie Freeman in the hole, I think you're seeing Craig Counsell's answer in game 1. If the next 2 guys get on, I think you'll see Ashby come in to face Freddie Freeman.
Ball 1. Yeah, he was pretty stern with his answer. He said he's going to be a 1-inning guy, and I guess what I was kind of suggesting was, you know, he has been a guy who did multiple innings for you in the past. It would be real easy kind of slide him back into that spot, but he didn't seem to want to go there.
I told you I didn't believe it. I said I wasn't going to believe it until I saw it, but he's showing you right now he's sticking to his guns.
2-2. Jock Peterson got down 0-2. It's now 2-2. It's with a curveball that time.
A necklace full of pearls that Jock's rocking for October.
Fly ball left field, sending Yelich back, going towards the wall, and that ball is gone. Home run for Jock Peterson, coming off the bench to pinch hit, and a pinch hit home run for Peterson cuts the Brewers lead in half for Atlanta. We get down 0-2, comes back to hit a solo home run.
And really what set that up, he laid off 2 tough off-speed pitches and then drove that one into left center field into the Brewers bullpen to cut this thing in half. His 10th home run now in October.
Jorge Soler. An opposite field poke for Peterson. Chopped left side, cut off by Escobar. Throw is good, and the inning is over. But Jock Peterson off the bench into the game with a pinch hit home run. Gets the Braves within 1 as we head to the bottom of the 8th. National League Division Series on TBS, presented by Good Sam. It is on to the bottom of the 8th inning, and it's on to Tyler Madzik for the Atlanta Braves.
He's been outstanding for the Atlanta Braves this year. 69 games, 2.57.
Tyrone Taylor, the pinch hitter, takes strike one.
And really a guy that's got reverse splits. Righty's hitting a .41 off him this year.
Taylor comes off the bench, missed 27 games this year with an oblique strain the end of August. Pops it up into shallow right. Albies going out to make the catch over the shoulder. He was in the shift and races out to the short lawn in right field to make the catch over the shoulder for out number one in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Yeah, great play by Ozzie Albies going out. I think it's like anything. These guys are so used to the shift now. You have to see him make these plays quite a bit, and gets a big first out.
You're out of position, really.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
And able to reel that in for the first out of the 8th inning. Top of the order, Colton Wong. 0 for 3 from the top spot for the Brewers.
Matzik's a great story in the fact that he had 4.5 years between big league appearances, coming up with Colorado. And Braves bench coach Walt Weiss, who had him in Colorado, talked him into signing him, came to Atlanta last year, and really now for 2 years has been lights out of the Braves bull. He was pitching an independent.
Part of a committee that's handled the 7th and 8th innings. Great at coming into games with inherited runners. Starts this inning, and a fly ball to left field sends Rosario backpedaling for out number 2 in the 8th. Well, as you might imagine.
And look, he's the best closer in baseball, 34 or 35 saves. But for the Atlanta Braves, you have the part of the lineup you want to give yourself an opportunity.
Yes, you do. Freddie Freeman, Ozzie Albies, Austin Riley. Anybody gets on, Adam Duvall may have a chance. So yes, the Braves have the right people coming up in the 9th. It's Willie Adames. That's here with 2 down in the home half of the 8th.
If you're Craig Counsell, you'd love one more run just to give yourself a little bit of breathing room, even with the best closer in baseball coming up.
A little bit low. 2-0.
Two sliders to Adames. Adames hits 175 off the breaking ball and 309 off the fastball, so being a little careful with them.
On the ground down the line at third, a little stumble by Riley's got no play. Able to make the play, but then kind of tripped where the grass meets the dirt, and he is replacing his divot over there, but realized he had no play and just put it in his pocket.
It's a good play by Austin to get to that ball. Kind of bounced back on him, but smart move to hold it. Adames, a quick runner. You weren't, after that right there, yep. Don, you weren't going to throw him out.
2 down, and Adames at first gives Christian Yelich a chance. 0 for 3 showing today in game 1 of the NLDS. '96 and up and in. Matzek, the third arm used by Brian Snitker. With a 1-0. By him, 1-1.
Well, we talked about Yelich, MVP in 18, second in 19 behind Bellinger. Usually a guy that handles lefties. This year has struggled, though. 187 with only 2 home runs against lefties.
Really, the concerns of the shortened season last year have rolled into this year as well. Hit at 234 in the last 2 seasons.
With that being said, though, you can still see how Matzek's pitching him careful. You know what he's capable of with one swing. And with Hader down in the bullpen for the Braves, you know you have to keep this thing at a 1-run game.
Yelich fouls it off, and it evens at 2-2. Two outs, Adames at first. Brewers on top by a run, trying to obtain some insurance here in the bottom of the 8th. Full count.
Well, now the runner's going to get a head start, and with Adames' speed, anything in the gap by Yelich here will score another run for Craig Counsell's bunch.
They stand in Milwaukee again. Ball 4, and he walks Yelich. 2 on down for Milwaukee here in the bottom of the 8th. The second walk allowed today by Braves pitching.
He had him where he wanted him at 2-2. To see Jesse Chavez warming up in the pen, just wasn't able to put Yelich away.
Credits the pitching coach headed out there. With 2 outs in the inning. Avisail Garcia will have a chance. With 2 men on here for the Brewers. This is the Brewers' first at bat with a runner in scoring position in this game.
And yet they hold the 2-1 lead.
Yep. The 2-run home run for Tellez came with Garcia at first base after he had been hit by a pitch in the 7th inning. Rowdy Tellez fractured his bat.
Got the count, and that got the count 0-2. So the first swing he takes with his new stick. There's a no-doubter off the bottom part of that scoreboard up there.
He's on deck as Garcia stands in. Thomas at second, Yelich at first, 2 down in the 8th. Strike 1.
And Garcia started that rally in the 7th when Charlie Morton got ahead of him 0-2 and then hit him with a 1-2 sinker on the forearm for the big blast.
Foul tipped, 0-2.
I think that goes to show you what Matzek's fastball can do. Garcia hit 298 off the fastball this year, and he's just really blowing 2 heaters right by him.
Thomas at second, Yelich at first, 2 down in the Brewers' 8th. On top by a run. flips it foul off to the right. Very defensive swing there. Fouling it off, staying alive, 0-2.
Matzek's got a great slider. That's the old question. If you throw the slider, are you helping Garcia out right now? Because you've thrown him 3 fastballs that he's been late on every single one of them.
Not close. See the four-seamer at 96. And now Tyler Matzek trying to preserve the 1-run deficit. Get his club up in the 9th. Swing and a miss, and Garcia strikes out. Matzek gets out of the jam. Josh Hader will be coming into this game, and we come back for the 9th inning. He'll be dealing with Freddie Freeman, Ozzie Albies, and Austin Riley. It's game 1 of the NLDS. It's 2-1 Milwaukee. To the 9th we go. Back in Milwaukee, Tyrone Taylor takes over in right field as he stays in the game of the double switch. And here is Josh Hader.
And one of the best closers in baseball, actually the best closer in baseball. Let me say that again. Hitter's hitting a .127 against him. 34 of 35 saves. You got to love it. Best closer in baseball against the reigning MVP. And these two have some history, Don, going back to 2019. Freddie Freeman with a walk-off home run in Atlanta back in May.
Strike called, and he got a call right there. Freddie Freeman knows the strike zone quite well.
And that's where it's tough when you're facing a guy like Hader and you're in a 2-0 count compared to a 1-1. That's a big call.
Fouls it off. 1-2. A walk, a strikeout, and a ground out to second for Freddie Freeman in game 1 against Hader. Just saw the home run. Two and two. Freeman, Albies, Riley. Anybody gets on, Duvall may have a chance. Full count now.
He is on quite a run second half of the season.
Maybe the most underappreciated closer in baseball since 2018. First year as a closer. 86.5 save rate. It's a fly ball down the left field line that is headed foul.
We talked about the multiple innings for year. 18, 81 in the third, 19, 75 and 2/3. This year, though, no multiple innings and 58 and 2/3. And Devin Williams was a massive reason for that.
That blown save was against the Mets back on July 7th. Three-two pitch. That's ball 4, and Freddie Freeman a leadoff walk to begin the 9th inning for Atlanta.
That's a tough take. Fastball just above the letters, but Freddie, one of the best eyes in baseball. And when Brian Snitker flipped this lineup and puts Jorge Soler to lead off, he moved Freddie Freeman from third to second and put Ozzie Albies behind him. The reason? Ozzie has great numbers against left-handers.
Pops it up foul, backing out of play.
So if you bring the lefty in to face Freddie, you're going to have to keep him in, as you see. A huge difference. 200 points higher on his OPS, 100 points almost on his average.
Up and away, and it's 1-1 to Albies. Generally very aggressive early in counts. Did swing at the first pitch. 8 of his home runs this year came on the first pitch. A .405 average when putting that first pitch in play. Foul this one off though, and it's 1-1. Ball 2.
And right now you're seeing Hader stick to that fastball, even though this year he's gone more to that slider change in years past.
Swing and a miss, and it's 2-2. And yes, sticking with the gas.
Well, if you can locate one there at that kind of velocity, it's tough for a hitter to get on top of it. Freddie
Freeman at first. Brewers on top by a run. Nobody out. Top of the ninth. Swing and a miss, and Albies strikes out for the first out of the ninth inning.
He got the best closer in baseball with a high velocity fastball. So he knows Ozzie likes to swing at the first pitch, throws him on off speed. And throws, comes with the heat, misses two, not really close, but here he gets back in the zone to get a 2-2, and it gets him to chase up and away. He's one of the true ones when you say you only usually get one pitch to hit. And that's a perfect example of what the best do.
1 on, 1 out, and Austin Riley lines this one into left field for a base hit. Freddie Freeman takes second base on the single by Riley, and the Braves have runners at first and second with one away. And he went up there hacking at the first pitch.
Yeah, Riley with a quiet day so far. Went up there, was aggressive. And lines it right past Adames.
Chris Hook, the pitching coach, out there to talk to Hader.
I imagine he's just trying to calm him down right now in this moment. Hader's been so good. Adam Duvall, though, 113 RBIs, leads the National League. And a guy that only hit 228 this year, Don, but with runners in scoring position, 326.
0 for 8 against Hader with 4 strikeouts. That is the past. This is now. Freddie Freeman at second. Austin Riley at first. 1 out, ninth inning. Game 1. Little number front of the plate. Out is Narvaez, going to second base. They get the out there. So he comes up firing to second, able to get Riley at second base. Forced out for out number 2 as Freeman takes third. And the tying run now 90 feet away.
Yeah, good throw to second here. Duvall, good speed. No chance to turn it. Smart move by Wong to hold on to it.
Orlando Arcia is going to pinch hit for Eddie Rosario.
The former Brewer.
Coming back to Milwaukee. Regular season hit under 200. Tying run at third. Swing and a miss for strike 1. 97 and by him.
Yeah, you're trying to play a matchup here. No matchups are great against Hader, but Arcia hitting 273 this year. And that's the pitch, Don, as a hitter you got to try to lay off. Not easy.
13 postseason games for Arcia, all with Milwaukee in the past. Almost got away. Wow. Tying run at third in Narvaez. Coming out of the crouch to reel that in. Exploding fastball at 98. He's taken off.
Yeah. Great job saving that ball. That ball gets by him. It's a tie ball game.
Strike 2. Claws up in Milwaukee as they stand as one. Down and in. Good block again. Narvaez has been huge in this inning.
Saved one on a fastball away and now on a slider. Well, that's having some trust in your catcher.
Hader's 2-2 pitch. Fouled off to the right.
Good job getting a piece of that to stay alive. Might have been his best pitch of the inning. Fastball in, a little bit up.
Jock Peterson supplying the only run the Braves have to this point. Tying run at third base right now for Atlanta. 2 outs in the 9th inning. On the ground to second base. Wong took a step towards second but fires to first. Ball game over. Brewers take game 1. Hader's first career postseason save. The Braves leave Freddie Freeman at third base, and the Brewers take a 1-0 lead in this series. They down the Braves 2-1. We knew it was going to be a pitcher's duel, and it was.
Yeah, both pitchers were outstanding, and it came down to Josh Hader, the best closer in baseball, facing the middle part of this Braves lineup. Arce actually got a nice piece of wood on that, but hit it right at Wong.
Wong took a step towards second. I thought he was going to go in that direction.
And you can't say enough. The Brewers pitching staff today holding this offense to 1 run on 4 hits. And on the other side, Charlie Morton. Don pitched a great game, but it was 1 swing by Rowdy.
Let's send it down to Matt Weiner.
I thought you were live already.
No, not yet.